What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages. Part one, the physical infrastructure package, which is $1.2 trillion, which has a deal between the Republicans and the Democrats, and then, which will come immediately after, part two, the next stimulus package, which has been announced by the Democrats at $3.5 trillion, which will be the largest stimulus package yet to date, and really could have everything and the kitchen sink or a whole plethora of stimulus items, and really who knows what could be in there. The third stimulus check package was only $1.9 trillion, and that had $1,400 stimulus checks for adults, $1,400 stimulus checks for children, $1,400 stimulus checks for adult dependents and college students that didn't even receive stimulus checks from the first and second stimulus check rounds. And also had the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credits, and had over $40 billion in rent assistance and mortgage assistance and SNAP work and pandemic EBT assistance and all sorts of different things, the $300 per week unemployment extension, all sorts of different stimulus provisions in there. And this next package is expected to be almost twice the size at $3.5 trillion. We're also going to talk about what the Senate says is coming tomorrow. Yes, is coming tomorrow. We're going to hear directly from the Senate, or what the Senate says is coming tomorrow. Also got multiple different news items about what is going on with our country and stimulus-related items. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here on our channel every single day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to hit the like button for us. It really helps out our channel, and let's jump right in. Okay, more and more states are suing their Republican governors. There's 25 Republican governor states where the Republican governors have said, we don't want to pay these $300 per week unemployment benefits anymore. And the people are actually fighting back, saying, we're owed this money. The third stimulus check package wrote this into law, and this is money that is wrote into law to help us through the pandemic. And it's law, and this law says that we're owed this money. More and more people and more states are fighting back against the state, against the Republican governors, and are filing lawsuits and are fighting back and actually winning. Here is the current list of lawsuits that are winning and or losing, of a kind of a David versus Goliath kind of situation here. Current list of lawsuits. Maryland, the people won versus the states. The state of Maryland has to pay the people $300 per week unemployment. If you're unemployed in Maryland, the people won. Indiana, the people won there as well. They have to pay retroactive as well in the state of Indiana. People won. Texas, the state of Ohio, the people lost there temporarily. The judge in the state of Ohio ruled against the people and said the state of Ohio does not have to pay the unemployment. Yeah, although the people are appealing, and we'll have to see what happens next. The state of Oklahoma, judge says they're ruling soon. They're ruling soon. Lawsuit in the state of Florida. Arkansas, new ruling says that the people won. The people won in the state of Arkansas. Congratulations if you're from the state of Arkansas. Tennessee, people won in the state of Tennessee as well. New lawsuits in the state of South Carolina as well. And now Louisiana. Yeah, so let me see here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there honestly might be a few more here that I don't have on my list. If you know of any others, please let me or let our community know down below in the comments. As far as I know, the only state that has lost so far is Ohio, which happens to be the state that I'm from. My condolences if you're unemployed and from the state of Ohio. Yeah, so in fact, if you have any other information, let me know, or let our community know, let our extended family of viewers here know down below in the comments. I will keep you up to date on this situation. This does literally affect millions and millions and millions of people across the country who are unemployed, and this literally takes money out of their pockets. This is money that's passed from the third stimulus check package. It's $300 per week, and it's actually sometimes more than that because this extends their unemployment too. This package actually extends the weekly benefits too. So a lot of states, they have a certain amount of weeks. Some states do 13 weeks of unemployment benefits. Some states do 26 weeks of unemployment benefits. And the third stimulus check package actually can extend those weekly benefits. And these Republican governors that have basically opted out of this money actually stop those extra weeks as well. It's important to note that these Republican governors that have opted out of this, their states and they don't have to pay this money back. It's literally money that comes from the third stimulus check package. It comes from the federal government, and they literally just give it to the states, and the states just give it to the people. There's no interest, there's no debt. You don't have to pay it back or anything like that. It's literally kind of just free money. It's like a stimulus check. You don't have to pay a stimulus check back. There's no debt. You don't owe taxes on it. It's literally just kind of free money. If there was ever a term of free money and you think of a stimulus check, it's kind of just free money. There's no, you don't owe it back. There's no taxes. I mean, you know where I'm going here, right? The unemployment money is the same thing. The states don't have to pay it back or anything. The states are literally just refusing the money. So I know why they're doing it. I could honestly, because again, I don't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat. I could make the case for both sides. I could make the case for the Republican side for these governors saying, well, we want the people to go back to work. It's hurting our economy. And, there's jobs out there. And by forcing people to not take this money, by not giving them this money, it's going to force them to go back to work. So that would be the Republican side. Now, on the other side would be, well, this is stimulus money that was passed from the third stimulus check package. It is a stimulus provision. It's not really a stimulus check in the fact that it's an actual stimulus check, but it is an unemployment stimulus provision. So, yeah, it's money that's kind of technically owed to the people. It is passed into law, and these Republican governors are kind of taking it away from people. And literally, we have one, two, three, four, like five different judges, their own state judges, their own, literally the state of their own judges from their own states that have ruled against their own Republican governors. So just to note that it's their own state judges that have ruled against them. So again, I'm not picking sides or anything like that. I'm just reporting to you guys what's going on. So if you are from these states and you are unemployed, this is kind of a victory for the people. And in some cases, these unemployment claims, they will have to pay you money retroactively. So if you kind of missed out on several weeks of unemployment, they may have to pay you retroactive unemployment money. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Next up, the July jobs numbers are in. The U.S. economy added 943,000 jobs. This is about what we were expecting. The June numbers were terrible. If you remember June numbers, they were absolutely terrible. This is about what we were expecting. It's not great. It's not terrible. The June numbers were terrible. The unemployment rate fell a little bit, which means unemployment went down a little bit. I think it was 5.9% from June. It went down a little bit. That is what you would expect coming out of a pandemic. But the problem is as you can see here, with the Delta variant really being a threat and cases really, really spiking up, that is kind of the nearest threat here. So again, this is kind of what we expected. The numbers weren't great. The numbers weren't terrible. Kind of what we expected here. So kind of par for the course. The problem is that we're over 100,000 new cases per day. Again, a little bit over a month ago, we were only at 4, 5, 6, 7,000 cases per day. Sometimes 14,000 cases per day. Yesterday was 127,000 new cases in one day. The day before, on August 3rd, 150,000 new cases per day. August 2nd, 136,000 new cases per day. So we're over 100,000 new positive cases, people testing positive every single day. And this is with over 70% of the United States being over 70% of the United States being vaccinated with at least one shot, and over 60% of the United States being fully vaccinated. So The problem is this new Delta variant is just really, really, really contagious. In fact, as you can see here, the Delta variant, the CDC says the Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as previous strains of the virus. And this is with, again, 70% of the United States being vaccinated with at least one shot and 60% of the United States being fully vaccinated. So again, we're just dealing with a new variant. I mean, a relatively new variant that's just way, way more contagious. And this is kind of the new threat to our economy and to the people. It's just, it's just really a crazy new threat that is just going to threaten our economy, threaten new. We're seeing new mask mandates and new kind of mandatory vaccines in certain capacities. I mean, here's just two headlines here from today. United Airlines becomes first major airline to mandate vaccine for employees. So again, it's not like they're forcing you to do it, but if you want to stay an employee there, United Airlines. Here's another headline from today. California mandates vaccines for all healthcare workers. This is for the California Department of Public Health issued an order on Thursday mandating workers in healthcare settings be fully inoculated or receive their second dose of the vaccine by September 30th. Yeah, so again, if you're working in certain parts of the government or in certain sectors or certain businesses, they're making mandates, for the vaccine in certain capacities. Yeah, and this is kind of what we're seeing going forward because of this spike in cases. It's getting crazy out there. The CDC says the war has changed, warns that Delta infections are likely more severe, and we definitely know they're more contagious. In fact, here's an article today. The White House walks back President Biden's plan to let pandemic unemployment benefits expire in September. So one of the things they could do, it's been on my list of stimulus items that could be extended in this next package, is unemployment benefits. Again, if the economy gets worse, they could extend unemployment benefits in this next stimulus package. Again, it's one of the things on the list. Here's our list of stimulus items being discussed. Item number 22 is unemployment benefits. They are currently set to expire on September 6th. Now, of course, if you're from one of those 25 Republican states, it may have already expired for you. Of course, you might be part of one of the lawsuits where they're currently fighting. You may have been one of the states where they won. But again, remember, the Democrats are going to pass the next stimulus package through the reconciliation process. They're going to pass the next package on their own without a single Republican vote. That is how they passed the third stimulus check package as well. That's how they're going to pass the next stimulus package. So remember, they can pass this fourth stimulus check package. That is how they're going to pass the fourth stimulus check package through the reconciliation process. So they can extend unemployment benefits. It's not probably one of the most likely things, but if the economy really tanks because of 100,000 new cases, positive tests every single day, and if we start to see any type of new lockdowns at all, we are seeing new lockdowns across the world, not necessarily in the United States yet, but we are seeing them in different countries. China just had over 1 million people locked down. So if the economy continues to get worse, that is one of the items that could be included in this next package. Remember, there's a lot of things that could be included in here, like checks, child tax credit checks. They are saying there's going to be an adult tax credit, which is basically, remember, a tax credit is basically the same thing as a check, whether they're going to send it to you in advance, like a stimulus check, or as a tax rebate, basically on your taxes. Remember, tax credit is basically just a check. I know a lot of people get confused on that. But they are saying in this next package is probably going to be a child tax credit extension, the monthly checks that are going out to children right now, $250 to $300 per month, or $3,000 to $3,600 per year, the child tax credit check. There's also going to be an adult tax credit in this next package, okay? And this next package is going to be the largest package yet ever. $3.5 trillion. And with the economy getting worse, where last month it was flat, basically, it was as expected. But now with cases getting really, really bad, really, really quickly, we went from 5,000 new cases a day to over 100,000, 150,000 new cases just a few days ago. Um, yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of stimulus items in there. And with $3.5 trillion, I mean, yeah, I mean, you tell me what you think is going to be in there. They're calling this next package an anti-poverty plan. I don't see how they're not going to include stimulus checks and child tax credit checks and adult tax credit checks and um, a lot of different things in there for anti-poverty. I mean, the Democrats are the people calling this an anti-poverty plan. Okay, they're the ones calling this an anti-poverty plan. They're the ones, the Senate Democrats agreed to a $3.5 trillion package. They're the ones that set the price tag. They're the ones that are going to pass this on their own. Remember, they're going to pass this without the Republicans at all. Republicans are going to try to do everything they can to block it. But just like the third stimulus check package, they're going to pass this without a single Republican vote. They're going to pass it in the House, the Senate, and the presidency all on their own. So the Democrats are going to put anything they want in there. I don't know. It's just my thought. You can tell me what you think they're going to put in an anti-poverty plan that costs $3.5 trillion. Remember the third stimulus check package that had $1,400 checks for adults, $1,400 checks for children, $1,400 checks for adult dependents and college students that didn't even receive checks from the first and second stimulus check package. And they had the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credits. And there was $40 billion in rental assistance. And there was SNAP, WIC, and pandemic EBT assistance in there, and there was internet assistance. There was all those things in there. That package was only $1.9 trillion. So you tell me what's going to be in a $3.5 trillion anti-poverty plan. So Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that they did not finalize the vote today, but they will hold the key vote tomorrow on Saturday. So if everything goes according to plan, that they will hold the final vote on Saturday, which is tomorrow. So again, if everything goes according to plan, they will hold the final vote on Part 1, the physical infrastructure plan or the infrastructure package tomorrow, which is really good news. So from what I understand, here's what's going to happen. Number one, they're probably going to vote. Again, I say probably because, it's Congress, so sometimes they delay, but here's what they're saying. Number one, they're going to vote tomorrow on the final part of the physical infrastructure package. It's from what I understand, it's going to be the final vote. So they're going to go vote. The Republicans are on board, from what I understand. They're going to go to pass it as long as it sticks together. Former President Donald Trump is still calling from the largest megaphone he can get to vote no. They can only have about 6 Republicans defect. So remember, last time they had 16 Republicans vote yes. They had 1 Republican vote fall off. So they can only have a few Republicans fall off. And they've been through this kind of negotiation stage called the amendment process. So they really can only have a couple more Republicans fall off and have the deal still go through. Okay, so they need to have they need the Republicans to kind of still hold it together, and all 50 Democrats, all the Democrats need to hold it together to get this passed. Okay, so yeah, they all need to kind of hold it together and stand their ground here and get it through for the final vote. So that should be happening tomorrow if all goes as planned. So I will keep you up to date. Let's hope it goes through. The timeline should be that they go to pass this Part 1 physical infrastructure plan. And then from what I understand, they are going to be in session after this to then start voting on Part 2, the next infrastructure package. So they will be in session next week as well, from what I understand. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that they're going to, and Senator Bernie Sanders, from what I understand, I've been listening to their speeches and stuff, that they're going to start voting on the initial stages of Part 2, the $3.5 trillion package as well. So this is from what I understand. They're going to then start immediately voting on Part 2, the initial processes, the initial stages of that as well. So honestly, I think it's very good news. We're in the final stages. We're kind of like rounding third base here. So yeah, you can let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date on everything. Again, some of this stuff, it's like they don't tell us everything. Remember, when they started voting on the physical infrastructure package, they didn't even have a bill. They voted on a shell bill. Okay. So they don't even know a lot of this stuff at first. So, I can only report to you what I know. They don't even know half the time. So, what we do know is that the next stimulus package is going to be $3.5 trillion. This infrastructure package, I know it's roads and bridges and water, clean drinking water stuff. But really, honestly, guys, that stuff is really good for our country. We've actually fallen really behind on infrastructure. We haven't passed a bill like this for many, many years. And it's really going to create thousands, maybe even honestly, tens of thousands of jobs, maybe even hundreds of thousands of jobs, because this is going to go for like 8 years. Okay. So this is actually a really good thing for our jobs. I know a lot of people aren't really too excited about infrastructure, but it is actually a really good thing for our country. A really, really good thing. And it's kind of tied with the stimulus package because Nancy Pelosi said, we really got to pass them at the same time. So they're going to pass part one, then they're going to go to pass part two, and remember, then they go to the House. Okay, so um, it's not like they're passing part one first and then part two, because really they're passing part one, and then the House isn't going to pass it. Okay, so they're going to pass part one, then they're going to go to pass part two. So they're kind of passing at the same time. They're just doing part one and then part two, kind of at the same time, but next to each other, if that makes sense. So I'll keep you up to date with everything going on with stimulus, with our country, what's going on in Washington, D.C. So make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. Remember that new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I'll probably have my wife on in the next episode. I'll update you guys on my vertigo. We went and seen the doctor yesterday, and I'm actually very, very, very dizzy right now, but I think we figured it out. And I'm going to be doing some physical therapy. I've been dizzy for like 4 months now. But I think we figured it out. So I'll update you guys on that in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share this video with your friends so that they know about the new upcoming stimulus package. Most people don't even know that they're working on another package, and it's going to be the largest one yet to date. So you can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is how President Biden wants to raise Social Security benefits. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.